Welcome to Fresh Films Industry Insights Season 2, a partnership with Paramount's Content for Change initiative. Be sure to tap the bell, subscribe, and leave a like. In this series, future creatives like me and you get to interview Hollywood pros who work at places like Paramount Pictures, CBS, Nickelodeon, and you get the point. So let's start the show. Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Ming, a Fresh Films alum and your host for today's episode, where you get to meet and talk to Dee Brown, Senior Vice President of Multicultural Marketing and Publicity at Paramount Pictures. So let's welcome Dee.
Could you please repeat your name, your current role, and what your role looks like on a day-to-day basis?
I'm Dee Brown, the Senior Vice President of Multicultural Marketing and Publicity at Paramount Pictures. And I would say that no day is the same. It's a day usually filled with a lot of meetings and brainstorms and just trying to figure out how we're going in collaboration with a big team of folks. Movie marketing is a very collaborative, and movie making is a very collaborative process. So we're in meetings and brainstorm sessions about how we're going to market our movies to the widest audience in the most authentic manner. And that includes making sure we're doing a lot of research. We know what our talent's up to. We know their latest projects, what they did on their previous movies, where they are, what are they doing on Twitter, hopefully nothing that's going to come back to haunt any of us. So it's very involved in making sure you have your eye on the pulse and your ear to the ground of what's going to move the needle, what's in the zeitgeist, what is my community that I'm wanting to embrace this content and movie care about, and why should they care about your content?
In this fast-paced workspace, what place do young storytellers coming into industry, what place do we have in this industry?
You guys are the future, Nicole. You guys are the reason the industry keeps evolving. You guys are the ones driving the box office as well. Not only are you creating, but you're driving, ticket sales, you're driving the culture, you're driving interest in our content. And I think the place that you have overall is to keep creating, embracing the industry, keep fighting and representing to be seen and heard and telling amazing stories and keep pushing the industry and the world forward. I think that it's so important to be embracing just the creativity that you all bring, of course, with social media, which 10 years ago it was a factor, but not as much of a factor as it is now, because 10 years ago we didn't have TikTok.
What is your advice to young storytellers who want to get into the industry through entry-level jobs, but those entry-level jobs require experience?
I think you keep innovating, pivoting, you start doing the thing you want to do before you get the job. Like now, there's no excuse if you want to be a filmmaker that you can't just do a film on your iPhone with your friends and you just start creating. You don't need permission to start doing the thing that you love. And that's not just true for filmmakers or content creators. That's certainly true for anyone who's interested in my line of work, which is marketing and publicity. If you are interested in marketing, certainly you have friends that are probably content creators or a church that you attend that could use some marketing or digital marketing services to engage a younger, maybe more diverse congregant. Literally, you guys have everything at your fingertips right now that you don't have to wait. And I think it's really being creative and thoughtful in your approach. How can you break through the noise and the clutter? So it's really about being really creative and innovative, even more so. And I think that that's true always in your career, right? You're going to have to keep learning, innovating, pivoting. That's something that I know that I have to do. So I'm constantly reading. As marketers, we're not able to sort of rest on our laurels that we can do what we did traditionally 5 years ago. again, TikTok is a great example or disruptor of that. And not just that, but Twitch and Roblox. And it's just really important always for us, just as humans, to keep, innovating.
Talking about those people, underrepresented kids who want to come into the industry, what is your advice for these kids to create connections with people in the industry and keep it mutually beneficial to each other and keeping it long lasting?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's important for those in-person connections. I know if we're doing everything via our phones or DMs or over social media, sometimes we forget the power of picking up the phone. We forget the power of meeting for coffee. But there is something about forming those relationships and connections that you need to do over, coffee, a drink, a lunch, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's really important to embrace the community that you have across your college or school or filmmaking program, and because those are the folks that are coming up with you and you will help each other. So if you get a job at a studio and there's openings and entry-level openings, or you're able to tap into your network of from college or whatever program that you're in. I think it's really important to make sure you're joining industry organizations. You are going to industry events and just really immersing yourself in the field that you want to be in. If you want to go to a film festival, sometimes it's literally just getting yourself to the city or where the film festival is and you start to make connections. It's really, again, just being very curious and being like a little detective to figure out, what are those ways I can make those connections in a really authentic and organic way. It should never be forced in the way that you're like, oh, if I do this, like social climbing is not good. So you really want to try to be authentic and yourself and bring the best parts of you to networking.
Could we talk about how Paramount's Content for Change initiative is striving to change the way content is being produced across the content creation lifecycle? And along those lines, can you talk to us about how great the need is to illuminate the pathway for young people to get into the industry, especially for diverse people, like young women, Black people, Asian people, all that?
Yeah, the Content for Change initiative is a Paramount global initiative across all of our business units. It is a combination, I think, of a CSR initiative as well as social impact. I think it's really important that we have those authentic and really meaningful conversations. Certainly our counterparts over at the MTV networks, because it's a youth-driven brand, are really immersed in the day-to-day of making sure that that content that you guys are consuming is really resonating with the time. Mental health is a really important initiative to Content for Change, and you can see in a lot of the content and the way it's structured that it's really focused on that. I think it's changing the industry for the better, and certainly at Paramount. So for us, we really are looking at, we have a review board from the Project Action initiative that looks at like our marketing materials. Are these resonating with our audiences? Is there anything blatant and offensive on these marketing materials? So it passes through several lenses actually, but that review board embraces a lot of our junior executives across the company. So you're getting a really, sort of 360 POV on those marketing materials. So it's super important. And the more we're vocal about these things, the more we share the resources of the things that we learn, the better our film community and entertainment community is, the better the world is, really, because it's a reflection of what's happening in the world. And I think entertainment does so much to help inform, educate, inspire, and we should make sure it's doing it in the best possible light.
For our last question for this interview, Could you give us any additional advice to young storytellers who are interested in pursuing a career in the entertainment industry?
The advice that I have is just start doing what you want to do. Tell stories any way you can and keep telling your stories. And often it's the thing that you feel sort of embarrassed by or ashamed of that's really your superpower. I have this podcast with a great friend, but he also works at another studio, and it's called Black on the Scene. And we talk to creators, journalists, et cetera, that are Black and African American about their trajectory and journeys. Some of them are filmmakers, but one in particular stands out, this really amazing writer, producer, director, actor, James Bland, who is an Emmy award-winning director for the show Giants. I hope I said that right. And he says that his queerness is his superpower. So it's your authenticity that's your superpower. That should inform the content that you're creating. Issa Rae is a great example of somebody who saw, this awkward Black girl as it could have been perceived as being something negative, but look at what she's done with being an awkward Black girl, right? I think that we all have the ability to do that and tell those stories and connect with people, because I think we all really feel a little weird, a little off, a little, whatever. And if we can really just continue to express ourselves authentically and let that come through in the content that we create, the films that we create, the books that we write, et cetera, that is going to propel you to, I'd say, great heights and maybe riches, but most importantly, it'll propel you to a better understanding and love for yourself.
Thanks for tuning in to Industry Insights, a partnership with Paramount's Content for Change initiative. For more episodes, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to be the one interviewing, or if you want to be the one on set, join us at Fresh Films. Just visit freshfilms.org.